We are, hi you all. 4 of the lucky 13, I guess. Ramsey's graduated from college. I'm the one that apparently looks like Mr. Ramadan.
We will not talk
I've gone far and left for college.
We will not talk about it.
So, anyone who knows Ramsey knows he can be a bit theatrical when it comes to expressing itself. So us, we thought, what better way to toast him as his groomsmen that have known him for this long than putting on a little theater production of our own to tell a little story of our many, many years with Ramsey. Or, as we affectionately call this production,
Here's a little story for you. Entering freshman year at Trinity, Ramsey Ramadan, graduate of the prestigious Lawrenceville Academy, oldest child of successful, intelligent parents working for the Foreign Service, was clearly on a path to success. Fueled by an unwavering thirst for knowledge and its intellectual curiosity, he made some bold academic decisions.
Yo, I think I'm going to take this 300 level Russian econ course.
Rams, it's first semester freshman year. You've never taken an econ course.
Let me tell you a little story. A, my mom speaks Russian. And B, I dominate money.
It turns out the professor actually did do the math, and Ramsey got a C in Russian. Since focusing on academia wasn't fulfilling Ramsey in the way he thought it would, he decided he would thrive in other areas. Namely, in securing the prestigious position of Vice President of Psi Upsilon fraternity, where he learned the valuable life skills of responsibility, modesty, and of course, the art of understatement.
Yo, before you got here, Stu and I drank 54 beers. Literally, 54 beers.
Rams, I was at the store with Stu when he bought the beer, and he bought a 12-pack. Can't be true at all. Look, there's only 12 cans. I can count them, they're right there.
Okay, so 54. 54.
The next 5 years of Ramsey's life were relatively unimportant. He moved to Boston with 5 of his college friends. He held 2 jobs, one in sports marketing, meaning selling pizza coupons door to door with no salary. One in recruiting and staffing services, where he hired guys named Rat Ross to work for $4 an hour as picker packers. And when he moved to the nation's capital to work at a blue chip real estate procurement company selling toilet paper. So after tasting success in DC, Ramsey took his talents to the Big Apple, where his prestigious job title and clever witticisms turned him into quite the ladies' man. Hey girl, want a shot of Jaeger?
That was literally it.
So even though he was clearly killing it with the ladies, he was yet to find his Jerry Maguire moment, finding someone who completed him. That was until he went to that wedding in Sandusky, Ohio.
Hey man, we were just talking about you. How was that wedding in Sandusky, Ohio?
Oh, you mean when I made out with the hottest girl at the party? What's that like?
As we would soon learn, that hot girl he was talking about was Annie. And what started as some casual flirtations soon blossomed into a full-blown relationship, albeit with a minor snag. She lived in Philadelphia.
Alright, so luckily, Ramsey's 3-hour workdays allowed him a certain amount of flexibility. And he was able to see Annie whenever he wanted. Whenever he wanted, I mean, 4 or 5 days a week. However, being able to see Annie only 80% of the time, which is not enough to satiate Ramsey. So he decided he needed to move to Philly. So the city of brotherly love kindled a fire inside Ramsey's once quite rotund, now marathon-toned belly.
No more tired.
He knew Annie was the one, so he decided he liked her enough to, as Beyonce would say, to put a ring on it.
Gentlemen, I need to tell you something.
You regret majoring in sociology?
You've never dropped a pass in your You've never dropped a pass once in your life? Not even once in the yard?
Well, both of those things aren't true. But there's something else too.
How are you going to do it?
I decided to ask Annie to marry me.
Wow! Guess what he was thinking? And jump into it. That's great. Like Chad asked, how are you going to do it?
Our first date was at a Phillies game, so I was thinking...
No.
A little Jumbotron action in your mouth.
You literally can't do that. That's the worst idea ever.
Okay, I have a different idea then.
So after Ramsey thankfully parted ways with the Jumbotron idea, on a sunny day in October beneath a row of apple trees no one had picked for months. See the video where you can find trees. There was like an orchard. There's literally an apple orchard. Ramsey decided to pop the question, and Annie, of course,
said yes!
no, she jumped in the air first, and then she said yes.
She did jump.
So as much as we like to make fun of Ramsey for all of his exaggeration, and probably being the most ridiculous human being I've ever spent quality time with in my life, we wouldn't know what to do if we didn't have him in our lives. If we didn't have the no-brainers, here we goes, wouldn't touch it, and our you problems.
We're all fond of saying that we genuinely feel bad for people who go through their lives and never get the chance to meet Ramsey.
Aww.
We are truly lucky to be your friends.
Not that lucky.
And yeah, but obviously you should feel lucky too. You know, with Annie, you found your perfect counterpart, someone who actually has incredibly more enthusiasm than you do, which is basically impossible. So, Annie, I mean, we think the world of you, and we couldn't be happier for both of you. So,
So everyone, please raise your glasses to the biggest no-brainer of them all. Ramsey and Annie.
It's just casual video.
what's that?
I said, she was worried about walking in front of the video. I said it's a casual video, no big deal.
Best start.
Get it all. It's the good looks. It feels better than the good looks.
Okay, I've tried. This is my 6th attempt to try to get up here. I want to introduce myself. My name is Beth, and I have been friends with Annie since as long as I can remember. We were 1 year old, 2 years old. We were each other's first friends. We were toddlers, and we had the pleasure of growing up on the same street together. And well, first I have to preface this with I'm normally a crier, so bear with me if I start just clap or something, get me out of here. But anyway, what I wanted to talk a little bit about is one of my most favorite memories with Annie is since we grew up on the same street together. Annie grew up way at the end of the street. I grew up towards the middle of the street. We had a good distance in between our houses, and anytime we ever wanted to hang out together, we decided that we would meet in the middle of our street. And we had this black line that was actually paved in the middle of the street, ironically. And it was almost as if it was a speed bump, but it wasn't a speed bump. It was just this black paved line in the middle of our street, and everyone would see it. And so we would get off the phone with each other and say, all right, I'll meet you at the black line, anytime we would want to hang out. And so we would do that, and it was kind of our special place to meet. And if we were just going to hang out for the rest of the day, we would meet at the black line. If we were going to ride bikes together for the rest of the day, we would meet at the black line. Or if we just wanted to hang out and talk, we would meet at the black line. And that was our place to meet. And so it was honestly one of the top things I could think about whenever I think about Annie. And so the reason that I like to bring that up and talk about it is because I think what I wish for you the most, both of you, Ramsey and Annie, is that you guys are able to find your own black line, if you will. So you're able to find your own way to meet in the middle whenever you have any sort of stresses in real life or challenges, or you just need that special person to talk to and meet up with, and you have that kind of medium place to really join, whether it's mentally, emotionally, wherever. I want you guys to find your own black line. And Annie and I, we grew up, we graduated from high school, then we graduated from college, and our families moved off the street, so no one was living on the street, and actually that black line was removed. I don't know if it was paved over or whatever, but the black line doesn't exist anymore, and I was okay with it because we didn't live there anymore. We don't live there anymore. But what I want for you the most, though, like I said, I want you to find your own black line and have that point when you have those stresses and you need that point to remind yourselves that you guys can meet in the middle. Yes. And have your own black line. So I just want to say I love you both. Annie, I mean, you're my best friend in the entire world. You're my soul friend. And I love you more than anything in the entire world. And Ramsey, both of you, you guys, I can't find people that have met more perfect people to live the rest of their lives with. And I just want to say that I love you and I'm happy for you. I would never wish more than anything but the best for you. So here's to Annie, Ramsey, and to finding your black line.
Alright, I'm going to speak real quick about my sister and Ramsey, okay? I'm in a unique position because, well, one, this is my sister, and two, I like Ramsey, I really do, okay? But that said, I'm going to tell you a fast story, much quicker than everyone else. The first time I met Ramsey, Annie was telling me about this guy, she met him, and she's like, I like this guy, holy shit, I like this guy. And she goes, will you come out and meet him at the Black Bear Lodge? It's like on like 33rd, it's a dump. Anyways, my wife and I, we go meet Annie and Ramsey at the Black Bear Lodge. Relax, I got the story, okay? I walk into the bar, and I see my sister, and I look at this guy. It's in, younger sister. I love her to death. Protect her. Whatever. Okay, so a lot going on, right? You can imagine. And I look at this guy, and I go, holy shit, he's really bald.
Wait for the punchline. But
But in all seriousness, over the last 3 years, I've like grown to love Ramsey like a brother, and like I really do, and my sister, and has never been happier. So I just want to say I wish the best of luck, and you're gonna have the best life together. And I'm so happy that I'm gonna be a part of it, and that I love you both so much. So cheers. I do want to say, I was going to tell Shannon's story first, and Annie gave a dirty look when I wanted to tell it.
I know,
Yes!
I want to add to Gary and Ramsey's love, they shared a king-size bed together. The two of them.
We're going to tell that story.
A king-size bed.
That's on
Ask
video.
about that.
Hey everybody. My name is Josh Police. I'm a bit of a wild card groomsman because I actually am in the dark ages, as Mr. Tully put it, those 5 years that Ramsey was working when I friended him. The dark ages. So in my life, I always use sports as a point of reference. And baseball was the sport that I gravitated towards. So I kind of equate relationships in terms of batting averages, believe it or not. So what I'm going to do is break down batting averages for Ramsey and for Annie. So item number 1, first impressions. I started at this magnificent company called Aerotech Staffing Solutions, blue chip company, I have to tell you. And I met Ramsey in a little small talk, chit chat, and I mentioned to him I went to Bowdoin College, which is a rival school to Trinity. And Ramsey turned to me and he said, Trinity College squash team, best team in the nation. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. Did you play on this team? Absolutely not. Annie, first impression. We had the pleasure.
Wait, what bag are you?
You're 0 for 1. Fair enough. Annie stepped up to the plate. We're going for baseball thing here. We met for the first time in New York City, and we were out in Alphabet City. Said city twice, wow. And we decided to play this game that my buddy and I like to do, which is you walk up to the bar, and you chose the most disgusting, decrepit type of liquor out there, and you have to take a shot of it.
That sounds horrible.
It's horrible, right? And I'm saying, you know what, I don't know if this is a good idea to play this game with my buddy's new girlfriend, but wouldn't you know? Annie strolls up to the bar and she's like, you know what, I'll have that vintage Korean gin with the cobwebs on it, please. Brings it back, slugs it down, and stayed out with us till 3 o'clock in the morning. Annie, 1 for 1. Let's talk a little bit about work. So Ramsey and I worked for Aerotech Staffing Solutions, and we were on the commercial side of the business, which was in charge of staffing positions like warehouse workers, picker-packers, people that just pick up shit. So I needed to staff a forklift operator position. I was struggling. So my buddy Ramsey comes up and says, hey, I got the perfect guy for you. This guy's money. He's perfect. You got to take him. And I go, you know what? Done. I believe you, my friend. Let's bring him on board. Starts his job. A week later, I get a phone call from the secretary up front. She says, Josh, Rat Ross is here. You go, oh, okay. Well, he should be working. I walk up to the front, and Rat is wearing a garbage bag on his head, a garbage bag in his shirt, plastic wrap around his shoes. I'm like, what is going on here? I said, Rat, why aren't you at work? And he goes, It's too cold, Mr. Josh. And he works inside. Ramsey, 0 for 2. Annie, as many of you know, has a very successful career at Groupon. My wife and I, we live in the suburbs of Westwood. No idea what the heck Groupon was until we met Annie. Because of you, we've gone on some nice double dates. Last but not least, tricks. Many people in this room will know this story. This one summer, we decided to head down to Palm Beach to visit Casa de Weissman. And we're heading out to the beach. And basically, Ramsey proclaimed that, in essence, he was like a golden god and didn't need to wear any sort of sunscreen. Nothing. I was like, "God, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm Lebanese. I Like, okay. So fast forward about 3 hours later, I think my description would be if a lobster and a chia pet mated. That would be Ramsey. The poor kid was in pain the rest of the trip. 0 for 3. Annie was kind enough and traveled up to Westwood a few years back for a Christmas party for us. Well, needless to say, during that Christmas party, not only did Kevin's mother pick him up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's not about you, Kevin. It's not about you. But it ended up snowing about a foot of snow, and I ended up getting, not drinking too much, but getting the stomach flu that evening. So when I got up in the morning, I couldn't shovel. I couldn't do any work. Well, Annie went outside, put her boots on, and shoveled the entire driveway.
What a guy this guy is, huh?
3 for 3. So here's my hope, and I know it's going to happen. With Annie and Ramsey now together, Ramsey is going to go 3 for 3 and be half 1,000. But in all seriousness, I think there was one thing, the big thing that you pointed out describing your parents, and it was the word selfless. And I can tell you, Wally in Virginia, that is a quality that is passed on to your son, times 10. He is someone that when you need him, when times are good or times are bad, he'll be there for you. I love you, man. Congratulations to the both of you.
Wow, there's a lot of speeches.
Okay, so I'm going to be very short and sweet. Basically, my claim to fame is that I was living with Annie when she met Ramsey, so I got to see their relationship unfold from the very beginning. Probably about in the second week was when he tried to install the paper dispenser in her bathroom, which I was like, no, that's not okay. And I'm pretty sure that I went on the second date with you guys. It probably wasn't a fake either. But you guys honestly are one of my favorite couples. You both motivate each other so much to do everything. From running to eating to having a good time, and we've all talked about how much your passion just radiates across the room. So as we've also talked about as well, we know that you all met at a wedding. So I really would like to follow in your footsteps.
Okay, I'm also going to tell you really fast, because I know there's a lot of speeches tonight, and I don't want to keep everyone here for a long time. I am so lucky. I am so freaking lucky. I have the most amazing friends in the world, and Annie, you are one of the most amazing friends in the world. And I had a speech written and it's like 4 lines because I didn't know what to say. Because how do you summarize? How do you summarize one of your bestest friends in the world in 5 seconds? So I met Annie at Penn State and we did a lot of things that are extremely inappropriate to even bring up here. So I'm not going to. If I can do that. Bless you. So, I just want to say that there are so many things that are so inappropriate to bring up, but our relationship started that way and then evolved so much deeper than that. And I'm so blessed to have you and Ramsey. Ramsey. So when I first met Ramsey, I was a little skeptical, but you don't know me. I'll tell you right now. So I love Ramsey enough. But for everyone that knows me, well, there's not a lot of people here. I am very, very overprotective with the people that I love the most in my life. So it has nothing to do with anything else besides that. And when I met Ramsey, I felt so in love with Ramsey. So now, I love Ramsey and I love Ramsey together. So I'm so, what did you call it? Ramsey. What are we? We got a new term now, guys. It's what? Anzi. Anzi. You did it in the bathroom. Yeah, this is the report. Crocodile. Well, that could be good. You like that? So anyway, I just wanted to thank you guys so much. And I have to say that at the end of this wedding, I look forward to so many times of gettingshitdone.com. Yes!
GSD.com.
So thank you. I love you.
Where would you like me, Rams?
Man, why do you stand up right here? That's good. Mine's not very short.
We're comfortable. My name is Matt Cox, one of Ramsey's groomsmen. So Ramsey and I didn't really hit it off initially when we met freshman year of high school. Unfortunately, I was a new quiet kid in town, and Ramsey was a little bit louder. He was a kid wearing that Knicks or Yankees jersey paired with the Chicago Bears hat. German. Just didn't make sense. Plus, he was a little bit on the cocky side, but still. So we actually met playing. We were both trying out for freshman basketball. Crossan was there. They put us into 3-on-3 groups, and Ramsey was actually guarding me. Very loosely, mind you. Back to the little bit on the cocky side. And I'm completely horrible in basketball, just so you know. But hit a long 3 right in Ramsey's face. Felt pretty well. And you get a 14-year-old Ramsey giving me the, whoa, okay, whoa. Didn't think you had that in you. All right, okay, Cox. All right, there you are. All right. I ended up not making the team, despite that. And Ramsey, went on to Lawrenceville the next year. We reconnected a couple years later, again through David and a few of our mutual friends at the time. Also, Ramsey always had the best house in town, so we spent many a night in the bar, just hanging out, just talking. Yeah, talking. Tom, Jay, Drawson, Marlene, you were there as well. And I promise, don't worry, because we were always acting very mature, very responsible, and I always took the best care of your baby. I was also there for many of Ramsey's past relationships, and honestly, I never really understood what the old man was doing. Sometimes I would think, this girl is just not right for him, and as much as it pains me to say, other times I would say she's just not good enough for him.